All right, let's talk about Orange Web 3. It's a fancy term, I know. You might be wondering, what on earth is Orange Web 3? And that's a fair question. Basically, it's the internet, but with a fresh coat of paint and some major upgrades under the hood. Imagine the internet as a car. The one we have now is like an old, reliable sedan. It gets you from point A to point B, but it's not exactly thrilling. Orange Web 3, on the other hand, is like upgrading to a sleek, high-performance sports car. It's faster, more secure, and offers a whole new driving experience. Think of it as the internet evolving, like that fish that crawled out of the ocean and decided to live on land. Just as that fish had to adapt to a new environment, the internet is adapting to new demands and challenges, except instead of gills and fins, we're talking about blockchain, decentralization, and a whole lot of jargon that makes your head spin. Blockchain is like the backbone of this new internet, providing a secure and transparent way to record transactions and data. But don't worry, we'll break it down. The basic idea is to make the internet more open, secure, and controlled by users, not giant corporations. Imagine a world where you have more control over your personal data and how it's used. The basic idea is to make the internet more open, secure, and controlled by users, not giant corporations. You know, those companies that harvest your data like it's a field of digital corn? Yeah, those guys. They collect your data, analyze it, and often sell it to the highest bidder. It's a bit like having someone follow you around all day, taking notes on everything you do. Orange Web 3 wants to change that, and it might just pull it off. By using blockchain technology, it aims to give power back to the users. This means you could have more control over your online identity, your data, and even the content you create. Imagine a world where you own your digital footprint and can decide who gets to see it and who doesn't. Security is another big focus of Orange Web 3. With traditional internet, your data is often stored in centralized servers, which can be vulnerable to hacks and breaches. Orange Web 3 uses decentralized networks, which means your data is spread out across many different locations, making it much harder for hackers to access. This decentralized approach also means that there's no single point of failure. If one part of the network goes down, the rest can continue to function. It's like having a backup plan for your backup plan. And it's not just about security. Orange Web 3 also aims to make the internet more fair and equitable. In the current system, a few big companies hold most of the power and make most of the money. With Orange Web 3, the idea is to distribute that power and wealth more evenly. This could lead to new opportunities for creators, developers, and users alike. For example, if you're a content creator, you could get paid directly by your audience without having to go through a middleman. This could mean more money in your pocket and more freedom to create the content you want. Another exciting aspect of Orange Web 3 is the potential for digital democracy. With decentralized networks, users could have a say in how platforms are run and what features are developed. This could lead to a more user-friendly and responsive internet. So in a nutshell, Orange Web 3 is about creating a better, more user-centric internet. And it's still in its early stages, but the potential is huge. Whether it's giving you more control over your data, making the internet more secure, or creating new opportunities for creators and users, Orange Web 3 is definitely something to keep an eye on. So next time you hear someone talking about Orange Web 3, you'll know it's not just a fancy term. It's a vision for the future of the internet, one that puts you, the user, at the center. Stay tuned for more on Orange Web 3. Okay, so we have the old internet, Web 2, that's where we are now with Facebook, Google, Amazon, the whole gang. These tech giants have become the gatekeepers of our online experiences. They decide what content gets promoted, what ads we see, and even how our personal data is used. It's a centralized system where a few powerful entities hold the reins. They control everything, from what you see to what you buy. Every click, every search, every like is tracked and analyzed to serve you more ads and keep you engaged on their platforms. It's a never-ending cycle of data collection and targeted advertising. It's like living in a giant shopping mall owned by a handful of billionaires. Everywhere you look, there are ads and promotions trying to sell you something. Your online experience is curated to maximize their profits, not necessarily to benefit you. Now enter Orange Web 3. It's like suddenly realizing, hey, we can build our own internet. Imagine an internet where you have more control over your data, where you decide what information to share and with whom. An internet that is decentralized, where power is distributed among many, rather than concentrated in the hands of a few. one where we have more control over our data and how things work. You can customize your online experience to suit your needs and preferences without being bombarded by unwanted ads or having your data sold to the highest bidder. It's like ditching that crowded shopping mall and building a bunch of independent stores, each with its own rules and perks. These stores are run by individuals or small groups, offering unique products and services. You get to choose where to shop, what to buy, and how to interact with the sellers. Instead of relying on big tech companies, Orange Web 3 uses blockchain technology. This technology allows for a decentralized network where transactions and data are securely recorded on a public ledger. It's transparent, tamper-proof, and accessible to everyone. It's like a giant, secure digital ledger that everyone can see and no one can tamper with. This ensures trust and security in the system as every transaction is verified by multiple participants in the network. It's how cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin work, but the applications go way beyond digital money. Blockchain can be used for a variety of purposes, from secure voting systems to decentralized finance, supply chain management, and even digital identity verification. The possibilities are endless, and the power is in your hands. Okay, let's talk benefits. First off, Orange Web 3 aims to give you, the user, more control over your data. No more creepy targeted ads based on that weird thing you Googled last week. Your data, your rules. Second, it's all about decentralization. Power isn't concentrated in the hands of a few companies. It's spread out, making it harder for censorship and control. Think of it as the difference between a dictatorship and a democracy, but for the internet. Third, Orange Web 3 opens up new ways to make money online, from selling digital art as NFTs to participating in decentralized finance or DeFi. There are opportunities beyond the traditional internet hustle. It's like the Wild West out there, but with better Wi-Fi. Section 4. Okay, but what's the catch? Now, before you get too excited, let's talk challenges. Every new technology comes with its own set of hurdles, and Orange Web 3 is no exception. While the potential is enormous, the path to realizing that potential is fraught with obstacles that need to be carefully navigated. Orange Web 3 is still in its early stages. This means that many of the tools and platforms are still being developed and refined. Think of it as a work in progress, where the final product is still a few years away from being fully realized. It's like the internet in the 90s, clunky, confusing, and full of dial-up modem noises. Back then, the internet was a wild frontier, full of promise, but also full of frustration. Websites took forever to load, and the user experience was far from intuitive. We're talking slow speeds, complicated interfaces, and a steep learning curve. Just like the early internet, Orange Web 3 is not yet user-friendly. It requires a certain level of technical know-how to navigate, which can be a significant barrier for the average person. Then there's the security issue. While blockchain technology itself is inherently secure due to its decentralized nature, the applications built on top of it can be vulnerable. Hackers are always looking for weaknesses to exploit, and as the technology evolves, so do their methods. While blockchain technology is secure, the applications built on top of it might not be. It's like having a state-of-the-art security system in your house, but leaving the front door wide open. The underlying technology is robust, but the implementation can be flawed. It's like building a fortress on a foundation of sand. The foundation might be strong, but the structure itself could be vulnerable. This analogy highlights the importance of not just focusing on the technology, but also on how it's applied and maintained. And let's not forget the hype. Every new technology wave brings with it a surge of excitement and, unfortunately, a fair amount of exaggeration. The promises made can sometimes be too good to be true, and it's essential to separate the genuine potential from the overblown claims. Like any new technology, Orange Web 3 is attracting its fair share of snake oil salesmen and get-rich-quick schemes. These opportunists prey on the excitement and lack of understanding surrounding new tech, offering solutions that are often too good to be true. It's important to be cautious, do your research, and not invest more than you can afford to lose. Due diligence is crucial. Before diving into any new technology, especially one as complex and evolving as Orange Web 3, take the time to understand the risks and rewards. Remember, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. This age-old adage holds especially true in the world of emerging technologies. Be skeptical, ask questions, and always be on the lookout for red flags. The journey of Orange Web 3 is just beginning, and while the road ahead is promising, it's also paved with challenges that need to be carefully considered and addressed. Section 5. Imagine a world with Orange Web 3. Okay, enough with the technical stuff. Let's dream a little. Imagine a world where you control your social media data, where artists get fairly compensated for their digital creations, and where online communities are truly owned by their members. Imagine a world where you can seamlessly transfer money across borders, where you can invest in projects you believe in without relying on Wall Street, and where your online identity is secure and truly yours. That's the promise of Orange Web 3. It's a vision of a more equitable, transparent, and empowering internet. Whether it lives up to the hype remains to be seen, but the potential is undeniably there.